They ask me how I knew my true love was true.
Home for the 4-month stint Nigel will do in Belfast will be here. Dave will be arriving soon for his first sight of the barracks. They live behind screens to ward off neighbourly bullets from the flats next door.
Do you get much trouble from them, do you?
We get a little late. They take pot shots of the Sanger now and again. We had a blast bomb over the back wall once, but nothing serious. Nothing to write home about.
Their official title is ATOs, Ammunition Technical Officers, and their force is known as Felix, after the cat with 9 lives. The barracks is a derelict factory taken over by the army, held together by good humour and pin-ups, and heavily fortified. On his first call, Dave, as new boy, acts as assistant. A small parcel has been planted in a doorway. Wheelbarrow can get to it, so Wheelbarrow can take the risks. 11 of these robots have been blown up so far. Wheelbarrow is carrying our camera as well for a close-up view.
Stand by! Fire in!
It's a deliberate hoax. The parcel contained only a glass vase.
How does this compare with the course? Does it feel different being over here?
Yes, it does with the crowds around. Yes, this is the whole atmosphere is different, you know, that way. But the situation is very similar to what they've taught us, you know. I must admit that. Yeah, very similar.
Did you hear that joke circulated today?
What did he come out?
One of the youths in Belfast picked up an Irishman last night who'd been sent over here to blow up the Belfast ferry. But he didn't succeed because he couldn't get his mouth over the funnel or something. One of Sid's corny jokes. I'm glad he's gone down the airport. Now, who's going next? You'll go, son.
Yeah, might go.
You know, it's a bit slack now. You see when they're all playing Scrabble. But about 10 o'clock sometimes it warms up, you know. It goes in spasms. When the Protestants were having their strike, I think it went for a fortnight where we didn't get anything up till midnight, and then everything happened after midnight.
Hello, Nigel. Yes, Clive, 39 Ops. Look, we've got a suspect device on the road at grid 335732. It was timed to 2103. Security forces have looked at it. The RV is 334729.
Left here.
Bravo team's on its way. Is it good? Thanks very much. Bye.
First set of red traffic lights. Approaching the second set and going down to unity class.
Then I would suggest you stop all these people wandering around and get the taxi people out of the way.
Can you move everyone back?
You're just causing confusion.
And anything coming down that road should be stopped now. There's something here.
Tell the police over there, sir. Do you want me to tell them over there?
Yeah, get those to do. Turn that on, boys.
Nigel's first call is to a street that's already been bombed repeatedly. Now a suspicious package has been left in a lady's underwear shop.
You have a lot of building materials either actually in there.
Is it any of it across the hallway?
No, nothing I would think to obstruct your road.
Yeah. Okay. And here, I can get straight there, looking this way down, can I?
Yes, there was timber round it.
Yeah.
It's a small plastic packet, say that not more than a pound of something, whatever it is.
Okay, we'll see what we can find.
Right.
Get wheelbarrow off, will you?
You could stay with me while we're fiddling with the TV. If we can get fast. If not, we're going to have to wait a bit. Okay.
It's in the back of Alpha Cab.
Fine. Sorry. Right.
If Wheelbarrow can get inside and along the passage to where the parcel is, Nigel can stay back in safety.
Can I get that past the steps?
Not very much. Get it round the corner.
You doubt if I get it round the corner?
What's that one? Possibly
Right.
that one.
What's that?
That one.
No. Don't think we're going to get there. I think it's pretty impossible.
Wheelbarrow can't get in, Nigel may have to. He talks it through with his major, who's turned out in a hurry in plain clothes.
There's no way
They've
from the
got
rear
building
of the building.
materials. There's no way from the rear of the building at all, right? Apart from going in remotely, because they're rebuilding
Yes.
it.
Now, I see you tried one entrance. At the shop there are 2 or 3 entrances.
No,
Are any of those any
no.
good too?
None at all. This is the only one into this
All right,
particular shop. We've asked about going in from either side, and it's all walls. It's just a small. And in fact, they are recovering from the last bombing attack at the moment.
Have you had a lot of experience of bombs here?
We've had approximately 12, I reckon. There's 12
Well, this
different
would be
types.
this would be the 11th or 12th one if it goes off.
Does that mean you're not much worried about them anymore?
Yes, exceedingly worried.
If you decide that you have to go in, how do you weigh up the danger to your life against the danger that it is currently causing, which is only to property?
It's very difficult. It certainly is only against property. But let's face it, that property is certain people's livelihood. There's a chap up there with his son. They own the place, and that is their livelihood. There is something believed to be in there. They're not going to deal with it.
You want the tape switch on so we can have a laugh when we get back?
Yeah, we can have a laugh when we get back.
Might have a laugh when you turn it on
We'll
now.
see. what we want to do, sir, they've got knickers in there. We want to see if you start breathing heavy.
Oh! On this hand. Pull my watch off, will you?
Can you explain what you're going in to do and what the dangers are that you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm going in now. I'm going up to the device, and I'm going to try and disrupt it using a bit of kit that we've got. I've got a very good route map now in my mind as to the way I've got to go in. I'm taking with me a torch, just in case it's needed when I get inside. And as I say, this bit of kit that we've got.
And there's no doubt in your mind that it is your job, your duty to go in.
No doubt at all, no. Tell them I'm going in, and that when I come out, there's a possibility, if this thing is an incendiary device, if it is an incendiary device, that there could be a fire, and that we would like a fire tender standing by. Okay? Yep. Oh, he's here. I'm going in now.
In theory, they only risk their lives to save others. In practice, the bomb disposal man must go in and risk his life even when all that's at stake is a shop full of underwear. He goes in, places a charge to defuse the parcel, comes out, fires by remote control, goes back in and finds it's another deliberate hoax.
Which we shot up a bit.
Traffic is rolling, not quite complete. Inside the parcel was a pair of DMS boots. Over.
Next morning, Nigel writes up his report of last night's incident, while the mess gets the nearest thing to spit and polish that they stoop to here for a visit from the Brigadier. As head of all the Felix teams, the Brigadier is the link between Ministry of Defence policy and the men on the ground. In many cases where your men are working, the threat is only to property, and the people have already been evacuated from the area, so the only life that's at stake is your man's.
Yes, it's at stake to the extent he does have remote equipment, mind you. I mean, he's not immediately at risk. after he's dealt with the bomb, if the bomb in the process hasn't gone off, then he's got to go and take the bits and pieces out. He's at risk then. But what else do? Do you just let people go around and blow every bit of property up? You've got to have some response to the terrorist.
Hello, darling. How are you? Absolutely nothing has happened.
Nothing has happened in that for Nigel it's all been false alarms and hoaxes, deliberate psychological warfare, frustrating, wearing, exasperating.
Back, please. Go on, back, back.
A car bomb, according to a phone call, has been placed by the Cathedral. They move in on the one car that can't be accounted for. Nigel decides to use wheelbarrow to blast away into the car. He will pump foam into the street to muffle the explosion if the bomb goes off. Car bomb explosions can be big and sudden.
Round the far side of the vehicle, Tech. Hang on, I'm trying to turn the bloody thing.
Are you still foaming? Don't stop foaming at any place, but keep on foaming as high as you can go, but make sure you've got some water coming in.
Wheelbarrow is within seconds of firing when drama dissolves into farce.
Is that the owner? Can you bring him here, please? Quickly.
You are prepared to
certainly run over the car, certainly.
You are prepared to, right?
Definitely, yes.
Right. Okay. Have you got the keys?
There's the key there.
Right.
The centre of Belfast's been brought to a standstill. Nigel's burned up a lot of nervous energy, and once again it's all for nothing. In Londonderry, in the more gracious setting of a country town, battered though it is, and in the relative splendour of a proper barracks, Bob Steele is getting a rundown on local bombing history.
What's trouble over here?
That was early this year. Strabane, the border crossing.
Why there? I mean, what did they...
Oh, Rose Dugdale. Do you remember she just gone in the nick for 9
We've
years?
heard the helicopter
bombs.
They say bomb disposal work is 10% fear and 90% waiting.
This game as it is, there's no need for shading. I assume you want to take that one.
When his first call-out comes, it's to some plastic sacks found near a barn out in the country. Country bombs can be worse than town bombs. Laying a bomb in a quiet field gives a bomber time for subtleties he couldn't arrange in a busy street, as Colonel Gaff explains.
He can take his time in preparing the device. He can lure us into the device. He can attack not only the ATO who's going to have to deal with it, but the security forces who are searching for it as well. He can lay what we call a come-on, which is an explosion or a find or anything placed that will attract security forces into the area and then lead them from one step to the next and eventually set off a device either by radio control, for example, or by a tripwire, or by just a pressure plate. They treat it almost as a game, trying to outguess us and outmaneuver us. Of course, we have to be ready to outmaneuver them at every move.
Until they explode, country bombs seem unbelievable, but an anonymous phone call says there are sacks of explosive here.
Well, they're fertiliser sacks, and there's about that much in the bottom of each of them, it looks like, and they're tied at the neck.
How close are we in a direct line from here now?
In a direct line?
Yeah. Approximately. 50 metres. About 50 metres. Well, let's move back. Come on, can we get everybody moved?
Once they know how far off the sacks are, they know they're too close to them. Feeling rather new, Bob is glad of something to do.
We looked where the explosives were, we walked in, examined them, and then left it at that.
Did you move the sacks?
No, we didn't touch them, no.
Right, it's 4 sacks.
4 plastic bags.
All approximately half full.
Yeah.
Can we call up helicopter?
The helicopter will come out from Derry to lift them above the hedgerows to fill in another piece of the jigsaw.
The troops and the police have been here, have seen some of the ground,
and have seen what they think are sacks partially filled underneath a bush with another object nearby. It's in a derelict building over there.